The Strait of Hormuz is a global choke point for oil and trade. Now the U.S. is blasting Europe to stop talking and start acting. What's driving this urgent demand, and why does it matter to you right now? On April 24, Pentagon Chief Pete Hegseth publicly criticized European NATO allies for not doing enough to support U.S. efforts to keep the Strait of Hormuz open. He said the U.S. barely relies on the strait, but Europe needs it far more. Hegseth demanded Europe stop holding fancy conferences and take direct action by getting in a boat to help secure this vital shipping route. This strong language highlights growing impatience with European inaction amid the ongoing conflict with Iran. The Strait of Hormuz is a narrow waterway through which around 20% of the world's oil passes daily. With the U.S. and Iran locked in a war that started February 28, 2026, the risk of disruptions has spiked dramatically. The U.S. relies less on this passage, but European countries depend heavily on it for their energy supplies. That explains why Hegseth argues Europe must take a frontline role in keeping the strait open, as its economic security is directly tied to this conflict zone. The war with Iran has drained U.S. military resources at a staggering rate. The Pentagon has fired over 1,200 Patriot interceptor missiles, each costing more than $4 million, totaling billions of dollars. It has also used about 1,100 long-range stealth cruise missiles originally stockpiled for potential conflicts with China. These numbers reveal the high price of this conflict and suggest the U.S. is eager to share the burden with its allies, especially in protecting critical maritime routes like Hormuz. Internal Pentagon communications and public statements by Secretary Hegseth highlight frustration with European NATO members. The U.S. accuses Europe of hosting fancy conferences rather than deploying tangible support to keep the strait safe. Hegseth's blunt call for Europe to get in a boat underscores a demand for direct involvement rather than diplomatic discussions. The message is clear. Europe's energy security depends on decisive action to counter Iranian threats in the Gulf. With the U.S. warning Europe to act now, the question is whether European nations will respond. Failure to secure the Strait of Hormuz risks severe disruptions to global oil markets and further escalation in the Iran-U.S. conflict. The Pentagon's call signals a potential shift toward coalition naval operations. For global consumers and businesses, this means watching closely as the security of one of the world's busiest maritime routes hangs in the balance. The Strait of Hormuz is not just a distant geopolitical hotspot. It's a vital artery for energy and trade that affects gas prices and economic stability worldwide. The U.S. is running low on costly missiles and wants Europe to step up now. For you, that could mean changes in fuel costs and global markets. Stay informed and subscribe to Daily Q&A to keep up with how this conflict might hit your wallet and world.